video es presentado por Avenida Digital. Avenida Digital te ayuda a digitalizar tu negocio. Si lo que buscas para tu agencia inmobiliaria es captación concreta de clientes potenciales, captación de propietarios o incremento sustancial de tus operaciones inmobiliarias, Avenida Digital tiene la solución. Avenida Digital hace que tu negocio inmobiliario no tenga techo.
Hi there. How you doing?
Hey, how are you again?
Nice to see you.
So good to
Long
see you
time.
again. What?
Long time no see.
True. But thank you again for accepting like so soon, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, so it,
Today I don't have school, so I thought it would be an all right time.
perfect, perfect. Is it okay if I challenge you with a few things,
Go
with
ahead.
a few phrases? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not a test undercover or, or
No
anything like
worries.
that. But maybe it could be fun. So let me see. Okay. So this one goes like this. I'm going to show you a phrase in English,
All right.
and you will have to translate that into Spanish as accurate as possible. All right?
A phrase in
That-
English and I translate to Spanish as accurate as possible.
Exactly. Are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Okay. First one.
I see them every other Saturday.
All right.
Does it matter the arrangement, the syntax of the sentence?
What do you mean?
I mean, for example, like this, every other Saturday I see them in Spanish.
Oh,
Or does it have to be verbatim?
no, I think it won't change the meaning. So,
Okay, then.
mhm.
Cada otro sábado les veo.
I first of all, I want to tell you that I selected these phrases based on very common mistakes that I hear,
Ah,
when
okay.
translating, mostly from English to Spanish, but some of them from Spanish to English. All right.
Okay, maybe I walked into a trap there. I'm not sure if I guess maybe to see for sure, to physically see. But in this
I
context, I suppose it's more of like a meetup. So
well,
that would be,
where
you
the
could say
trick is,
les encuentro, or
no, no,
I'm sorry,
no. C is perfect. The trick is on the phrase every other Saturday. That's the tricky
every other
part.
Saturday. Uh, cada otro sábado. I suppose maybe that might be the trap there.
Yes, it is, because
Okay.
that's not how we say it. That is not
Um, all right. Well, I guess you stumped me on the first one. Help me out here.
Let me show you.
Por medio. Oh, of course.
Does this sound
Por
familiar to you? Sábado por medio?
Um, I've heard it used in different ways. I was never told to use it when saying, like on a bi-weekly schedule.
Okay, so this works, of course, with every other day, every other week, every other month. In all those cases, what we say is sábado por medio, día por medio, semana por medio, mes por medio, etc. Interesting,
All
right?
right. Food for thought.
Yes. So this one is a clear example of a literal translation that doesn't work.
Okay.
All right. The next one.
Es nuestro presidente actual.
Yes. Es nuestro presidente actual. Exactamente. Um, Many times what happens is that when you want to say something with the word actual in English, and you translate it as actual, in that case, it doesn't work, you know.
Right.
So
It's not
good.
exactly the same as saying actually, for example.
Well, again, actually, it's like en realidad. And the typical mistake is that you might translate it as actualmente, but
Right.
actualmente means like currently. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's really confusing. What about this one?
I gave it to him yesterday. Gave it as in lent it or let him borrow it. Uh,
You can use the word dar.
le se lo dio ayer, or se lo presté Se le presté ayer.
Okay, se lo di. I think you said dio, but se lo di.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I have like this weird like a phrase that I like they used us to as an exemplar, and it was
Mhm.
always like se le dio instead of I
Okay,
don't know. I guess like I just kind of just popped in my head as soon as I saw this phrase. Se
it's
lo di.
fine.
Yeah,
But
claro.
usually the confusion is like se lo, all apart. It's like, how do you say that, right? What about this
Yeah.
one?
He wants me to work at a factory. He wants me to work at a factory. Él quiere que trabaje or que like
Yeah.
I apply, I suppose.
No, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Quiere que trabaje en una fábrica o
Muy bien.
algo parecido.
Okay, sometimes the word factory, like um that's a tricky one, but fábrica, you said it right. Y él quiere que yo trabaje. It might sound
Right. It's a
simple, but
subjunctive.
it's subjunctive. Exactly. So, él quiere que trabaje o que yo trabaje en la fábrica. Perfect. Let's try some more.
She's sitting on a bench. She is sitting on a bench. Ella está sentándose en em, como una mess. I'm not sure. Actually, bench might be the word that I have trouble with. I think I
Like
would
a
always say
like a park bench.
something like a bench. Oh, I'm not sure what bench is. I blipped.
How do you say bank?
Banco?
Yes, it's the same word.
Oh, okay. Well,
Confusing,
what about the
right?
rest of that sentence?
Well, now the other part. She's sitting. We're not using this phrase as something that is in progress, we're describing a position. So what we say in Spanish is ella está sentada en un banco. Ella está sentada.
Right.
No se está sentando as if it was an action that is in progress, you know what I mean? Ella está sentada. The same goes with she's lying or she's standing, She's standing would be está parada en una esquina, suppose. No se está
Right.
parando, sino está parada. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Blame my overthinking for that one.
What do you mean?
Oh, just I was overthinking it. I thought it was
Yeah,
gonna be a trick, so I went for
yeah. No, it's
the
usually
other.
like very simple things. And as I said, it's typical things that I hear that are wrongly said, and sometimes like we understand anyways, or especially when you have some experience like talking to foreigners. But let's try the next one.
We're waiting for the bus. Estamos esperando el colectivo or el bus.
Está bien,
Depends on
está
how
bien,
the
está
bus.
bien el colectivo, por lo menos como decimos en Argentina. Where do you think the trick is here? Or what do you think is the typical thing that is wrongly said?
I suppose for the is where people think estamos esperando para el colectivo.
Esperando para o esperando por, like constantly, we get those ones like a lot. The thing here is esperar no lleva una preposición. Es esperar algo o esperar a alguien, pero no
Right,
necesita por o para. So, estamos
right.
esperando al colectivo. What about this one?
Espero que vengan.
Perfecto. Subjunctive, subjuntivo, una vez más, que vengan. No es espero que vienen, sino espero que vengan.
Right. If I knew, I would tell you. If I knew, si yo supiera, I would tell you. Te contaría.
Muy
O
bien.
algo parecido.
Can you say it again?
Si yo supiera, yo te contaría.
Muy bien, te contaría o te
Te
diría o
diría.
te lo diría, está perfecto.
Right, right.
El supiera generalmente es un poco confuso. Bueno, creo que pasas la prueba. En general,
Well,
muy bien. Pero hay errores muy típicos, muy comunes, que les pasa a la mayoría, incluso después de mucho tiempo de práctica del idioma. Eh, But you got most of them right. So
Yeah.
good.
Silly mistakes, I suppose. I shouldn't overthink it like I was. But yeah,
Y-
it was a good refresher course. I definitely think I need to go and study up on some old material for
It's
sure.
fine. It's
Yeah.
absolutely fine.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, it was good.
Maybe we can try some more.
Okay, yeah.
Let me see. Okay.
All right.
A ver si aprobas el siguiente. Next level. Vamos con este. Con objetos, nombres de objetos comunes. Vamos a ver si recordás cómo le llamarías eh, a estas cosas. ¿Ok?
¿Para qué
Muy
son
bien.
esos?
¿Para qué son estas cosas? Vas a decirme primero qué son. You will tell me what they are called in Spanish. And then you will try to explain to me in Spanish what they're used for. You know?
Used for.
All
All
right.
right. Son unas tijeras. Las usa
Perfecto.
para, para cortar, para tejer, depende depende en la situación, obviamente.
Perfecto. Perfecto. ¿Podés cortar qué tipo de cosas? O especialmente qué.
Cortar, cortar unos papeles, puedes
Ujú.
cortar. eh,
Do you know how to say fabric?
I was thinking of like tapestry for some reason.
More simple, like paper or fabric, like this.
I
No.
it's like saying I would believe is it similar to textiles?
It starts with TE.
Gosh, the
Four,
heels.
four letters, only four letters.
The oh, I'm tripped up on this. I used to know. I think.
I'm sure.
Uh,
You must have heard it.
no, I don't know. Okay,
Te-
spare me.
I don't know if you said it. Tela.
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 I
De
had to change
papel
the
o tela.
TE, but not the LA. LA.
Okay, what about the next one?
Tela. Oh, I know they're in English, binoculars. But
Well, in
think
Spanish, almost the
I don't
same.
think that it's pronounced the same.
Very
Be
close.
beef. Is it beef? Like focals? Like bifocals? No.
No, those are types of glasses.
Uh,
But it's almost the same as binoculars.
it's
Basically the
not
same.
binóculos. Óculos.
Binoculares.
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 Okay, great.
What are they used
Y
for?
se los son usados, se usan, usamos los binoculares para ver a unas distancias larguísimas.
Ok. O
Podemos
cosas
ver
que están en
como
la
cosas,
distancia. Claro.
objetos, personas, animales, cualquier cosa a una distancia lejana.
Can it be that when you started, you were about to say, instead of son usados para, it seemed like you were going to say se usan para. It seemed
Right.
like you were going to say that, which is more common. Se usan para. That is correct. That's even better than son usados para.
I always, like I said before, I'm just an overthinker. So I always I get it like set in my mind that just like el sacapuntas, it's
El sa-
technically it's not like plural because it would be el sacapuntas. I'm thinking of the same thing. Is it would it be a plural saying or would I say
Mhm.
los binoculares or el binoculares? That's where I'm tripped up.
Overthinking can be, an obstacle sometimes in the process of learning. So I understand. I know what you mean. What about the next thing?
Oh, I have no clue.
The
I
clue,
never had one of my missions, so
a
I never got
blender.
to use the
We call
word.
it
Oh, licuadora. Maybe the
licuadora.
mission president had one.
Una licuadora. Can you explain what it's used for?
La licuadora se usa para, bueno, para, bueno, no sé cortar, pero eh, bueno, se echan unas frutas vegetales, depende, en sí, adentro y puedes combinar o mezclar o, bueno, recortar todo lo que está adentro
Es
para
interesante,
crear.
la palabra licuadora viene de licuar, o sea, convertir en líquido. ¿Te habías dado cuenta
Mm.
de eso? Licuar is like liquefy. Is that a word? Right? Liquefy or not?
Liquefy is, but it's more of an
It's like,
economic, like liquidation.
all right, well, maybe that's translated.
I
This is
guess maybe,
a wrong transfer.
but I've never, no one really says like, let's liquefy, the
No,
ice.
no. But it's to turn into liquid, like
Yeah, turn to liquid
licuar.
is probably more common, but
Exactly.
that makes a lot of sense in Spanish.
In
Yeah.
fact, you can make milkshakes with this. Now, what do we call milkshakes in Spanish? It comes from this
Um,
word,
licuadas.
licuado.
I don't know.
Yes. Un licuado de bananas, un licuado de frutillas, de frutas.
Mm.
Le decimos licuado. O batido. También decimos un batido.
Oh,
Pero más
but
común para nosotros aquí, por lo menos en Argentina, le decimos licuado. En
yeah,
inglés es licuadora también. Ujú.
like
It's harder.
compass, compass.
No, porque el compás es otra cosa para nosotros. Para
Well, then
hacer,
I
para
don't
hacer
know.
círculos, eso es un compás.
Uh,
Y creo que para
no
ustedes,
sé,
I don't know.
no tengo la menor idea.
Eso se llama, mira,
Brújula. Oh, no, I did know.
you didn't
Freaking,
know?
I the Book of Mormon has uses that to describe the Liahona, I believe, at one point
I think so.
because it has a compass
Brújula.
inside it.
Sí. No me acuerdo si usa la palabra brújula. Anyways, but
I
this is
think
the
like they
word.
gazed upon la brújula
Ajá,
y les llevaron por doquier, ¿no?
exactamente. Ay, por doquier. That's a very eloquent word. Nice, nice. What about this?
Um, Gosh, I'm trying to remember what it even is in English. A magnifying glass.
Exactly.
Uh, it's like a
Would you say magnifying glass or magnifier? Or any?
I guess it just depends on the person. I guess whatever comes first to mind. You might hear both, but I'll say like a magnifying glass because a magnifier might be more of what you would say on like a microscope in a lab.
Ajá,
Like
ajá.
use the magnifier and increase
Yeah,
the intensity or something like that.
right. I think this
This
is the kind of word that you would expect to be kind of similar in Spanish, but I have to tell you, at least the way we call it, it is not.
mm,
Let me show you.
yeah, I don't know. Nope. I didn't know
No,
that
no.
one at all.
Lupa. Usamos una
Lupa.
lupa. What do you use it for?
Well, se usa para magnificar las cosas, para ver las cosas en pequeñas distancias, como,
No, no creo que digamos magnificar.
well,
Para ver
I
cosas
don't
pequeñas,
know.
para verlas más grandes, o para aumentar el tamaño de algo, o verlo más grande, pero no diríamos magnificar. Claro, en inglés es to magnify, right? That's why it's called a magnifier or magnifying
Mhm.
glass. Eh, no había pensado en eso, pero si no decimos magnificar en ese sentido. ¿Mm?
Okay. Straw. Um,
The straw.
Straw. Hmm.
When you
Ah,
buy soda.
bombillo. Bombillo.
Ah, actually, we call bombilla a el del mate. Esta es una bombilla,
Ah,
pero no le diríamos bombilla a este. Quizás se entendería de todas
ah,
maneras una bombillita. O
mm, um,
la palabra sorbete me parece que funciona mejor.
ah,
Sí. También le decimos pajita, sí, pero sorbete me
paj-
parece que está
I
perfecto.
don't I don't know
Aunque
about
se puede interpretar
pajita. That might
mal.
be something else.
Yes, I know. So I think that sorbete probably is the safest option.
All
Uh,
right.
I'm guessing like it is. It's more, neutral in Spanish, probably, I'm guessing. Yeah. What about this one? This one is double because you have to name this and this,
Uh,
both.
that's needle and spoon. Needle and spool of thread.
Yes. Just
Thread.
needle and thread. Uh-huh.
Is it tila for thread? Or is it
No, it starts with an H. Thread
oh,
starts with an H.
what is that an H? Mm,
Mhm.
hilo
Yes. Bien, esto es
and
hilo.
needle.
Ajá.
The needle. Gosh. Um, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not gonna get it.
It starts with an A. Look.
A, uh,
Aguja.
aguja,
Yes. E hilo.
aguja y hilo.
Una
Bien.
pregunta. ¿Por qué acá puse E y no I?
Because this preposition has to match the the sequence because you have the next word that begins with an I. Um, and I just know every time you have, a word that follows an and preposition, so it has to be an E instead of a
Yeah.
Y.
Mhm.
That's just the grammar of it. I'm sure that there's a smarter way to pronounce that rule, but I'm not sure.
It's about pronunciation. It has to do with how it sounds. It sounds kind of uncomfortable to say y hilo, aguja y hilo. It's like like those sounds crash. So we say
Mm.
e hilo. Mm? The same happens when we say like one or another. Decimos uno u
Ooh,
otro y no o otro. It's the same
right.
kind of thing, but it's about like how it sounds. It's like when in English you say like a chair, but then you say an elephant. Why do you say an elephant and not a elephant? It's like those two vowels together, they don't sound right. It doesn't sound comfortable, so it sounds better by adding a consonant like an, it's kind of like the same type of thing. So, okay, final question. What do we use this for? ¿Para qué los usamos?
Oh, ¿para qué?
Sí.
Bueno, se usan para tejer, para um, arreglar, para construir unas tapestries. I was like fishing
Tapestry.
for the tapestry word. I don't
Ay, ¿cómo
remember.
se dice tapestry? Me acuerdo cómo se llaman en español.
Crear
Ah,
ropa, no sé.
¿tapetes? No sé, no me acuerdo cómo se llaman. De todas maneras,
Is it tapiz? Wait a minute.
tapiz, tenés razón. Muy bien, punto para vos ahí.
All right, there it
Tapiz.
is. Okay, all
Muy bien, muy
that
bien.
old Spanish I used to know has come back.
Excelente, excelente. Vos dijiste el verbo tejer. Para mí tejer es como to knit, like
Hmm.
with wool, like, and those two things. I don't know if they're called needles as well.
Okay.
But this is to sew, which is coser,
Oh, coser.
coser con
Yeah.
S, creo, ¿no? No es lo mismo tejer, son parecidos, tejer, coser, se teje con lana generalmente, con cosas más gruesas, y con el hilo se cose, ¿no? No puede coser. ¿Tenías en
Yeah.
cuenta esta diferencia?
Yeah, that was definitely archived knowledge that I did know before. And has been reawoken. Yes.
No, pero muy bien, muy bien. Solamente quería probar un poco. I mean,
Uh,
I wanted to challenge you a little bit.
oh, it
Uh,
was a challenge, all right.
yeah. Well, this is more or less the way that I teach English. This is kind of like the material I use, you know, when I teach English and when I teach Spanish as well. But mostly I'm teaching English more than Spanish, but this is the kind of thing that I usually do. So what would you say you feel was one of the hardest thing about learning Spanish? What was the thing that especially at first made it seem like it was not that simple? I don't think it was the
Well,
pronunciation, right? Probably.
the
As regard.
pronunciation just
Mhm.
comes with time and practice.
Mhm.
That wasn't even the hard thing because it's a lot like mimicking and then just putting to memory and practice. The
It seems to
hardest
me like
thing
you're
I can
good
say
at
right
that.
away.
Sorry,
Well,
but
I try. I do lots of voice impressions anyway, so I'm pretty good at mimicking and
when you're good at
changing my
that,
voice to sound
when
more
you're good at that,
parecido.
like yes, that helps you. That's a skill that you can apply
Yeah.
when learning. So that is amazing. So maybe not the pronunciation, but
What
then what?
pronunciation probably might be second because you can know every all the vocabulary you like, but no one's gonna understand you if you're not using the same rhetoric and the same inflectuation of voice and the same pronunciation as you would in the region you are. However, for me, I can say like right off the bat, the hardest thing was learning all the tenses because in America, they only ever teach us like present and maybe a little bit of past and maybe a little future, but we can't handle subjunctive just yet until
Mm.
we get to college or something. I mean, as for me, I was lucky enough to kind of have grown up with a little bit of more Spanish in my life, so I had a bit more of preparedness to do well in
Mhm.
Spanish in high school. But it was in the MTC where they just every single week it was a new tense. I had 6 weeks of them, so we had to learn as much as we could. And that is kind of where I realized, oh my gosh, I'm in for a reality check because I thought everybody spoke the way I did, in high school, and I was so wrong. And I should have known this because I couldn't even understand Spanish movies before in high school. And then now it's like, a breeze because I know all the tenses and I know exactly what they're saying. I can understand regional dialects. So yeah, tenses. Subjunctive probably was the worst offender.
Usually that is one of the questions that I get the most,
Yeah.
how or when should I use uh, that one, like when is it used? How do I use it? Subjunctive. Yes, it's one of the nightmares of learning Spanish, I would say. Another question that I have for you,
Okay.
have you had any benefits or situations in your country where Spanish, was relevant or it helped you or I don't know, it was of good use in your life? Well, you mentioned yesterday that you were dating an Argentine girl, and I suppose in that case, Spanish was something that, helped. But other than that, maybe studies, work, relationships, friendship, meeting people,
Hmm.
applying for a job, I don't know, whatever. Has it been of any use
Um,
after the mission, back in your
I'll,
country?
s- this is this is definitely something more personally to me because ever since I came home from my mission, I was determined I didn't want to end up like everybody else. This language is a part of me now, and it's always been kind of a part of me in some form or fashion. And I wanted to maintain my Spanish. So every day, like I would always be like praying, please, let me keep my don de lenguas. Please let me be able to have a chance to speak and to maintain my language. And I still pray for that kind of stuff. And I'm always provided for. There's always a funny situation where somebody needs, Spanish and, I'm the only one that would know it. It helped me in work before. It's helped me kind of like to negotiate before going to Spanish owned businesses, before restaurants, before going even when I returned to Argentina during Thanksgiving when I came home. Uh, it was I wasn't using my missionary Spanish as in like gospel oriented. Well, I was, but because I was relevant, but also I knew a lot of like I could use like a whole lot of different, words because I could just continue to learn it as soon as I was done.
Mm.
And even now, it's my major, so I'm always using it in class. I'm hearing it, with the professor speaking it in Spanish, so it's always just on my mind, Spanish, Spanish. I enjoy it. I have to watch movies in Spanish for some classes in the past and even now.
Mhm.
Uh, I've written papers and completely in Spanish.
Wow.
So I think that I've been provided for. I think I've had many relevant and important opportunities to learn Spanish, and it's always on my, resumes. So um, I
Right.
use it in work uh, all the time. Just even just to myself, I try to like think in Spanish. I try to like
That's
um,
a good
you
one.
know,
I've
to
talked
do
about
something
this
to
with other
praise. I always
people.
pray in Spanish. Probably the most consistent thing is just my prayers for
That's
sure. But
awesome.
yeah, to answer long story short, yeah, I've always had Spanish
That is
be a
pretty
relevant
great.
part of my life in
That is pretty great.
situations.
Hmm. Like
Yeah.
thinking, and I've talked about this, like thinking, in the language you're learning. It might sound crazy, but I think that
Mhm.
could be one of the easiest things you can do because you don't need anything else. You don't need anything. No, you don't need a screen. You don't need a phone. You just think, right? And you challenge yourself to think in this case in English if you're learning English or in Spanish, like in your case. It's good to hear that you've had or you keep having experiences, regularly um, that show you that when you know how to speak Spanish, that gives you some kind of advantage. And that's what I try to, to remind my students when learning English, all the benefits. I think we don't even know the amount of benefits we can have when we learn a second language, especially like languages like these ones that are so relevant around the globe. So it's really great to hear that this is a part of your life and you appreciate it in that way. You take it in that way. This is a part of you, and you treasure it. You try to keep it up. You know, it took some time to learn it. Took a lot of effort, but now it's time to keep it and keep improving it. That is something that I really like about languages. You can be learning them your entire life. You never get to a point where you say I know everything, because that is just not possible. And that is not a problem. I think that is something
Mhm.
great about languages. You can spend your whole life learning something new. You will always discover something new about the language you're studying, even your own language, like I still learning, I'm still learning my own language. So
Mm.
I think that's pretty great. Well, once again, this is telling me that we only have a few minutes left. Um, but this has been really great. What do you think about the kind of exercises that I gave you, the challenges that I shared with you?
Oh, um, pure torment. No, it was a humbling experience. I feel a little bit embarrassed that I should have I did know these. I just didn't remember them.
That
Uh,
was
but
not the intention to
I'm glad
embarrass
that
you.
that kind of residual memory was kind of
Yeah,
awoken. It got me to thinking, how much of my everyday objects, around me do I actually remember how to say? So,
it's true.
I've changed a lot of my Spanish to kind of be adequate for like business audiences and a little bit of medical audiences. So, so the kind of the objects that I remember have remembered before have kind of been put a little bit backward towards like the new vocabulary and lexicon. Uh,
Mhm.
so it's funny how like I would be tripped up over like I don't know, like a highlighter, something like that, where
You
I
know what to
know how to
say?
say like some like, other grandiose thing. But I mean, it was good. It was fun still. I'm glad that I didn't completely blow out. I enjoyed it. All things considered, it was still enjoyable.
Maybe we can practice every once in a while and do these kinds of
Maybe we
challenges.
should. Maybe
Maybe
I
in
think it's
private so
exactly
that
what
you're
I
not
need.
exposed and you don't feel like you're under the
Yeah.
glass or anything. But
Mm.
yeah, of course, I will always be willing to talk to you and help you if you need to practice some more. I have a lot of material that we can use. So feel free to ask me if you want to use me, to help you keep improving your Spanish, which is already amazing, amazing. And as I said yesterday, your English is like so good. It's so clear, so polite. I really like it. It's really enjoyable talking to you. So once again, thank you for accepting to do this. This is my new project. It's still, I'm still working on it,
Mhm.
but I'm pretty excited about using this, and providing my students and my friends and other people with some interesting, conversations. So thank you so very much for accepting to do this. Maybe we can do it again some other time.
Yeah.
If there's something, another topic that you would like to talk about, just let me know, and um, we'll do it again. All right.
All right. Yeah. It'll be
Well,
fun. It'll be great.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I
Thank you so much.
really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It's always nice hearing about you and well, keep it up. Keep learning, keep practicing. And if I can help you in anything, let me know. I'm here. All
All
right.
right.
You can count on me.
Oh, I will be practicing.
Yes,
I'll be
yes.
practicing, all
I
right.
love doing this. I love working with the language, and I feel very blessed that this is what I do for a living,
Mhm.
Like I feel very lucky, very blessed that I can work doing something that I can enjoy this much, while at the same time I keep learning. So this is really cool. It's really cool. So
Thank you for including me. It's been I enjoyed it a lot.
it's an
Any
honor.
chance to speak and kind of learn from you or just kind of be involved has been fun. It's
I
just
knew
enjoyable.
I knew it would be good. I knew it would be good. I felt it was going to be good. But what happened, it turned out to be even better than I thought. So I feel very, very lucky. I feel very honored and grateful that you accepted. Honestly, honestly. I don't want to sound exaggerated, but this is how I feel, honestly. All right.
Thank you.
So well, let's keep in touch, okay? Let's keep
Mhm.
in touch and maybe we can share more stuff, later on in the future, in the near
Yeah,
future.
absolutely. You just keep me posted.
Of course, of course. I'll be editing this once the video is ready and I post it. I will be sending you the link so that you can see,
Oh,
you
all
can look
right.
at it. You can watch it,
Well, I
okay?
appreciate that. Thank
No,
you so
no, no.
much.
I'm the one who's grateful, as I said. Well, I'll be talking to you soon. Say hi to your father, you know,
Oh yeah,
on
I
my
will.
behalf,
I'll make
please.
sure that I'll
Yes.
I'll let him know about us and kind of this experience. I'm
Yeah,
sure
tell
that
him.
he'll be happy to hear.
I'm sure he will be surprised. Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'll be talking to you soon. Have a good life. All right.
Thank you. You too, and good luck with class and this video and everything, all your teaching,
Thank you. Thank you.
your
Thank you so
endeavors.
very much. Thank you so very much. Well,
Have a
see you
great rest
soon.
of your day. Take care.
You too. Bye.
See you later.